This week has been a really hard week for me in a lot of spaces. So, welcome back, week 6, as John said. He's been good. This week has been a really hard week for me in a lot of spaces. Some things like reminded me of where I was about a year ago, which was a pretty dark place, um, especially compared to where I am now, and more on that for sure. But um, that stuff was kind of a little bit in my head, and like the biggest thing for me was something physically that I didn't know if I was going to be able to do, and it started me thinking about support and the network of people that you build in your life to do the things that you need to do and help you get along in that space. And I know I've talked before about like everything's great, everything's awesome, everything's crappy, those sort of things happen. But the people who let you get through that are the real kind of not unsung heroes, but I think the people who don't get thanked as much as they should. And John and I are setting out to do some things that frankly are stupid as far as challenges to ourselves, and they're scary to some extent because I don't know if I can do them. And this week was kind of like my first big thing. So my girlfriend Ellen was awesome enough to bring her Wahoo kicker trainer over, which is way too much fandangled, like contraption-y technology for me. But what it's allowed me to do is start figuring out some power stuff. And my coach, Chris Mayhew, who you've probably heard us talk about on the show, actually was a guest on the show, wanted me to do an FTP test. Now, John trains with power and does all this stuff, and he's always talking about it, and I don't understand any of it, so I just try to like put it aside and not think about it. So this was like a really daunting thing for me. I didn't know what it really was. I mean, I knew what it was in concept, but I didn't know what it meant to do one or what that effort felt like or what it was going to be. But you go all out, you go hard, and I basically had a year off the bike last year, and I'm only feeling like I'm getting back in shape now to some extent. And it was scary, but Chris said, "Hey, this is what I think you can make, so this is where you're going to start." And I was like, "Ah, yes, Captain, I understand." And he never treated it with me like it was some lofty goal I needed to have or something. He just said, matter of factly, this is what I know you can make, so this is where we're going to start, and then we'll go up from there. And he had this kind of way of understanding how I operate, and that's probably because we've developed a friendship over time, to know that the way I needed that support was just to make it not a thing, to be there, to give me the guidance because he knows me so well, to say, oh no, just go do this. And it became not as big of an issue for me. And that sort of support was really important going into this kind of thing that felt really hard to do. And it was freaking hard. I'm proud I finished it. That's good. That's really great. But it was really hard. And it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I was screaming out loud, nearly in tears, because I wanted to quit. And I wanted to quit bad. I did not want to do that anymore. It hurt. And I knew that I had to because I committed to myself and I was going to do that. But, and I'm getting emotional about it because Ellen was there. And it is really hard for me to express to you what it's like to be a year away from where I was and to have someone, while I'm going, physically challenging myself harder than I thought I could go, and to have someone standing there ready to help me with anything I needed, getting me water, taking care of me, at one point yelling at me, and I was like, I don't need negative reinforcement, I need positive reinforcement. But she was trying to help me motivate myself to do this thing, and just being there every step of that moment. And I was nervous and I was worried getting up to that point, but she was right there with me. And you know, those of you who know me as a person, and John especially, know that a year ago, this wouldn't have been something that I could have done. And not because I couldn't have physically done it, but because I mentally couldn't have done it. There is power in challenging yourself to do hard things and succeeding or failing. But there's power in challenging yourself to do it, whatever it is. And you are the most powerful when you have people in your life that you can lean into and ask to help you. So don't feel that you don't have those people in your life. We all do. And this week was just, you know, from John motivating me to do this, you know, personally, and telling me he knew I could pull it off, and kind of giving me a hard time about it too. Like, oh, really? Huh? Can you do that? And then give me a tough time about it. To Chris understanding how I needed to set this goal, and to Ellen just being there unflinchingly for me, and standing exactly with me in that moment. We all have those people around us. Find them, and when you have something particularly challenging, it's okay to lean on them, because that sort of support and those people around you are going to help you accomplish the most amazing things in your life. So this week, go out and find those people and thank them for doing the thing that challenges you in your life and giving you that support. So this week is kind of my thanks to the people in my life who do that for me every day, from my family to my friends, my coworkers. 2019 is a pretty buck wild year, but I'm very thankful for all of you. So thank all the people that matter to you. Make sure to do that. Also, send me some tissues, and click subscribe to this week's show, and check all the cool stuff we're doing. We got a lot of stuff for you this year we're really proud of, so looking forward to it. Peace, guys.